About 2 months ago, before I went to Colombia with my friends, for the past right before that time I went to Colombia with my friends, I literally went ghost for like 200 days, 7, 8, 9 months. I was done doing all the things that I usually did because I knew I needed not just like a season, because the season's like what, like 2, 3 months. I went through like this long period of time, over 200 days, of just going ghost and focusing on one thing. Obviously, there's other things I had to deal with, but for the most part, I wasn't partying, I wasn't drinking. I cut off all my vices and I focused on one thing. I focused on myself. I focused on I have a book coming out in 2 months. I focus every single day on myself and my book. Every single day. I even pushed off certain things with my business that I didn't want to do anymore because I didn't want to work as much because I wanted more time. Now, obviously, I still, I'm an inspirational speaker. If you don't know me, I still spoke at schools to make enough money, to provide and be able to eat. But like for the most part, it was if I wasn't making money, I was working on my book and myself. And I think in everybody's life, maybe not, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I believe in a lot of people's lives, you need this chapter. I don't want to say season because it takes more than like 2, 3 months. This season, no, this chapter of your life where you kind of go ghost because it has so many benefits and it allows you to just really set the foundation for the rest of your life and allows you to get certain things out of the way that can't be done unless you go ghost. Because a lot of times if you don't go ghost, there's too many variables going on that you can't lock in and get certain things done when they just need to be done. And in this video, I want to go through 10 benefits of going ghost. I had a wonderful time going ghost. Now, were there some negatives? Like, yeah, did I miss out on some of the best parties supposedly? Yeah, but like, there's also a lot of benefits that I went through. And maybe you're thinking about going ghost. Maybe you're thinking about really locking in for a season or for a chapter. These are some things that I've realized after going ghost in this chapter and other chapters. I may have not gone ghost for as long, but I've realized the value in it. So I want to go through these 10 benefits and kind of give you some advice while you're going through these chapters, these steps. Some just common advice I'll give you all throughout that I'll just sprinkle in. I'll say that the 10th one is really important. And after like I was setting up this video and I made the title and everything, I actually have 2 bonus benefits. So I'll probably put them to the side. So make sure you watch to the end of the video. I give little bitty like tips throughout the way, but let's just get into it. I'm not really here for the formal stuff, so let's just get into it. So the first one, and if y'all have any questions, feel free in the comment section to drop them. That's how I can make a video. I'd rather, instead of what I usually do every morning is I like look for like ideas to make videos on and then I make videos. But if y'all gave me a video from the people that actually watch my content, I would love to make a video based off your questions. So feel free to drop a question. Maybe I'll make a video off of it. So the first benefit of going ghost, in my opinion, is that allows you to fully reflect without the noise. If y'all ever watched one of my videos, one of my biggest things and most important things I think humans and anybody should be able to really achieve and should be constantly trying to achieve that really sets you apart from everybody, that's really the key to you becoming the best version of yourself, is having awareness. And when you lock in, you reveal and have the time and the silence to actually start learning more and more about who you are, okay? And it's super important that we have time, regardless of what you're working towards in this time of ghost, because you cut out all these distractions. Obviously, you're not going to be working on that one thing all the time, but even when you're working on it, you're learning about yourself. But even when you're not working on it, you have this empty space where you can actually reflect on your life, where you can actually learn about yourself, where you're actually hearing the thoughts in your brain. I think we live in a generation where people are constantly doing something, they're constantly distracted, and they're never actually like bored, I guess, per se. I don't even know if that's the right word, but we're never having the space, the silence to reflect. And when you go ghost, you have no choice but to deal with all your trauma. You have no choice but to deal with all the anxiety. You have no choice but to deal with all the things you're hypothesizing in your brain, and you start to debunk it. You start to realize the real reason you're feeling this way. You're not just feeling it, but you're seeing the feeling, you're acknowledging the feeling, you're understanding how you can work past it. And when you start to do this, man, it just allows so much other things in your life to become so much easier. Saying yes or no to a proposal. If somebody's asked you to do something, if you're being asked, like if there's an opportunity, like life becomes simpler when you know yourself, because then you don't have to question everything. Should I do this? Is this for me? Because now you know who you are. So it's like instinctive. Oh no, that's not for me. Oh yeah, that's for me. Oh, that girl, that's not my type of girl, because I already know I can't do. Everything becomes simpler in terms of decision making when you take the time to learn who you are. Okay, and that's what everything's simpler when you learn who you are. And going ghost allows you sometimes, for some people, the first time to actually reflect and figure out who the heck they are beyond their name, beyond where they're from, what school they went to. And that's something I felt. I was able to really reflect, and especially because I was writing my book, and it's an autobiography memoir. So like literally like going through each chapter of my life, I'm like, dang, I remember that. Dang, I'm feeling this feeling again. So that's also another thing. Maybe try journaling. I did a big form of journaling by writing a whole book, but like journaling during this time can be really powerful and really unpack these different moments in your life, because these things you deal with, they're never gonna be able to. You're never really gonna be able to overcome them unless you embrace them. That's one of the things I've realized. Unless you embrace pain or whatever you're going through, you'll never get over it. It'll just stay there. It'll linger. And you think ignoring it is helping you, but it's not. It's just delaying the inevitable. So until you really reflect and really just embrace whatever you're going through or wherever you are, things won't get better. So that's the first benefit of going ghost, okay? The second one, this is a big one. How do you spell develop? Develop skills or foundations that will help you the rest of your life. So when you're building foundations or you're building skills, it takes obsession, it takes complete dedication. And when I'm talking about skills and foundation, there's things like you're building from the ground up, right? And it really takes a season at least of going ghost, of really locking in to be able to achieve that, okay? Now, some people, they have talent with certain things, or if you have talent and want to take it to the next level, or you want to build a business, you want to be able to build whatever it is in your life. Oftentimes, whatever is really going to change your life, you're going to have to go through this foundational phase where you're kind of grinding and it's this minuscule progress because it's the hardest part. And it's going to look like nothing's working, but that's the part you're being built, you're being chiseled into the strong person that can become and what's the word? Withhold whatever you're chasing. So a lot of people, they don't go through this foundational phase, and if they reach a little bit of success or whatever it may be, they can't keep it long term because they never became the person. When you go ghost, when you're really locked in, you're doing something every single day, you're taking consistent steps, you develop these foundations, and now whatever skill or business or whatever it is that you're trying to build isn't just something you have physically that's fragile, it's who you are. It's chiseled. You're branded with it. I'm forever this. I'm like, for me, I remember going through the foundation of becoming a better speaker. I went through, that's another season of my life, chapter of my life. When I first started trying to become a professional speaker, motivational speaker, I couldn't talk on the camera for more than a minute. But I said, every single day, I'm going to turn on this camera and I'm going to work at it. Every single day, and I was bad, and I was bad, and I was bad. And every single day, I got a little bit better. I couldn't see that I was getting better, but I was getting a little bit better. And every single day. Now, at this point in my life, I am branded with the skill of speaking. I can not speak for 20 years and then speak and speak fluently, because now I have the skill of being able to do this. I have the skill of kind of just talking off a limb, and then I still practice and I freestyle to make myself better because I don't have to rhyme when I'm doing this. I have to rhyme when I'm freestyling. And so it's just like I developed the skills. Now I'm branded with it. You see what I'm going? When you're branded, it's a tattoo. It's like it doesn't go away. It's forever. When you go through this, you now have a skill, you have a foundation. You're branded with it. It's who you are that can pay you and help you for the rest of your life. So you build a business and you automate it that pays you for the rest of your life. You grind for a long time and buy some real estate. And I'm just thinking of stuff, but I'm just saying you develop the skill of being able to fix a sink. That is forever. Things go bad, you can forever fall back on that. You go through a season of going ghost, you have this foundation, you have this thing that isn't just something you have, it's who you are. So therefore it can pay you, develop you in whatever you're trying to go after for the rest of your life. Okay? Or I remember I became a baseball umpire. And so I was able to learn that skill, went through a long time to figure it out. But now when I quit my job to become a motivational speaker, no money was coming in, I could always fall back on that because I had that skill. So no matter where I go, as long as there's baseball fields, I can make some money. So you have to develop skills foundations that allows you to really be able to, have security or just something that always is there for you, okay? But you have to build up the skill, and it takes time, and that's why going ghost can be super important, okay? Another one. Teaches you, is that how you spell teach? Teaches you self-love. So one of the things that's kind of essential when you go ghost, because you're no longer really interacting with people, you're not facing all this interaction, whatever it may be, you learn to love yourself. And one of the biggest things you can ever do in your life is learn to love yourself, because it's the only one you can depend on. You can't depend on anybody to love you. Nobody in your life is going to be with you for your entire life except for you. That's a bar. Nobody's going to be in your life for your entire life except for you. I should write that down and make that an Instagram post. But nobody's going to be in your life in your entire life but you. And so if you depend on somebody else loving you for you to love you, then you're never going to be in control of your own happiness, okay? Your own peace. Now, we're never always going to be happy, but if you can learn to love yourself, learn to look in the mirror and really see that person as your best friend, to really appreciate that person, to learn the things that make you happy and do them, to reward yourself when you do good. Like for me, like I try to always reward myself. I try to always speak positive to myself. I think one of the best things you can do in self-love is learn what you like to do and do it. So like I understand, and learn what you don't like. In this process, you're also going to build your routine. You're going to build what you know you should and shouldn't do. Like for me, I know I can't work out in the morning, okay? I just can't. That's self-hate, because I'm not going to wake up. I'm not going to get out of the bed because I don't want to work out. But for some reason, I like working out at like 5, 6 p.m. It gets me, like after I finish working or whatever, I work out, take a shower, and my mind starts to decompress, and it's time to go to bed. You feel me? And so self-love is all about figuring out what makes you you, which comes back to fully reflecting, and then you just act on it, and then you just do it. If you know you don't like going to parties, I don't care if all your friends love going to parties. Self-love is saying no to them so you can say yes to yourself. Doesn't mean those aren't your friends, but if they don't like you because you don't want to go to the parties, even though you know in your self-love you have to say no, then those aren't your real friends. Self-love is often saying no to the things that other people want you to say yes to, but it's you saying yes to yourself. Every time you say no to something, every time you say yes to something you don't want to say yes to, you're saying no to yourself. And so it teaches you self-love. It teaches you more appreciation for yourself, because you're really all you got when you go ghost. And what's important is once you come out of ghost and you start interacting with people, you become a little more detached, because you know at the end of the day, no matter what, I got me. So if you don't like me, guess what? I like me. So I don't need you. You feel me? So I think that's pretty cool. And I think that actually leads me perfectly into the fourth one. You become less desperate. And this comes back to this. Because you have built this self-love in this ghost point, going ghost, you've learned to be alone. You learn not to be around everybody. You learn to say, I think there's a Larry June quote is like, what does Larry June say? He says, he said, I don't depend on nobody. Dang it, I messed up. That's my favorite rapper. I messed up. But basically, you don't need nobody, okay? And so when you have the energy of like, of knowing you got you, you're not desperate. You're not like, I need this person to be my friend. I need this girl to like you. You stop fearing failure, because it's not failure, because it's just not for you. Because at the end of the day, you got you. And so you become less desperate. And I think it's a pretty cool thing to happen, because when you become less desperate, your energy changes, and it changes things, and it makes you, which brings me to the next one, makes you more attractive. One of the most attractive things you can do in business with the other sex, if you're a girl or a guy watching this video, is to not want them. Is to not need them. Is to not be desperate for them. If somebody was desperate for you, if like, I love you so much, I need you in my life, oh my God, like you'd be like, you're tweaking, you feel me? You're doing too much. Something's wrong with them. If somebody's texting you OD, like calling you all the time, you're going to be like, okay, this person doesn't love themselves, okay? The more you're secure with yourself, the more you don't need something, the more people attract to you and want you, because they know you're actually healthy, okay? And so it shows your confidence. You become more confident is kind of what I'm saying here. And so what happens is when you're less desperate, you become more attractive, because one, you love yourself, so you don't need them. That's the crazy thing about life. The less you need or want something, the more it comes. The more you want it, the less you get it. I'm telling you. The more you want, the less you get it, the less it attracts to you. But the less you want it, the less you need it, the more it comes. So if you want it, stop wanting it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's just about prioritizing yourself and everything else. really just comes back around. It's a crazy way life works, man. 25 years old, I've figured it out. Okay, next one, and I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but realize your true. I'm a fully kept friends. When you go ghost, people will recognize that you're going ghost. People will recognize that you're not doing the same things that you were doing. People will recognize that you're not coming to the parties or doing the things you used to be doing. And some people will be kind of mad that these things are happening. Some people will support you. Some people will check up on you. All these things are things to know. A lot of people are only your friends when it benefits them. A lot of people are only your friends when you do the things that make them happy. Like one thing I stopped doing recently, and I'm not doing it ever again because it messes up my brain. But I used to like smoke weed, not gonna lie. I used to smoke weed, and eventually it started messing with my brain. Like, long story, but it's just not fun. Okay, but I would still do it because it would make other people happy. Like other people were like, bro, you're the funniest when you get high, bro. And I am. I'm a really funny guy in general without the weed, but when I'm on the weed, I'm funny, okay? And but I started realizing I wasn't enjoying it, they were enjoying it. And so I've had times now that I'm back outside, and this is kind of not related, but it is, but people were like, dang, bro, you're not doing that no more? Now they don't want to rock with you. Now it's like, oh, they were never my friend. They were a friend of what I brought to them. And so you just start to learn people that are really there for you, people that check up on you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, checked on me. I hadn't been out. You know, that shows something. Or for me as a guy, like I appreciate the friends where I don't have to check up. We can go ghost for 6 months and then tap back in with each other and everything's cool. But you start to just realize where you really lie with certain people. And I think that's pretty cool because it allows you not to waste your time with people. Like I think a lot of times we have friends that we shouldn't be friends with, but we never learn if they should be our friends because we never actually reflect or we never test it. I don't want to say you should be testing your friends, but you never like analyze things. You feel me? So that's another benefit of going ghost. Okay, next one. Okay, boom. Start to realize. Realize. Okay, I'm not a single word. I didn't need. Oh, start to realize what you liked for the wrong. And this kind of brings back to what I was just saying. But you start to realize things you don't actually like, you don't actually enjoy, things that are facades, things that you don't even really want, things other people have told you, but you don't actually believe. I think for a large part of our lives, we have things that are foundational beliefs or foundational things we like that we really don't like. We're just told to like. We're doing it for approval, for pride, for ego, for other people to think, oh, bro's a cool guy, but do you think you're cool by doing that? And you start to debunk it because now you're the only opinion. When you're ghost, you're the only opinion, right? And so allow you to realize the stupid stuff, the wrongdoings, and the things that you need to change in your life. Like for me, I like, bro, we're not smoking anymore, okay? We're not smoking any more weed. Now I don't do it. You just start to realize different things. Or like for me, like I don't like going to the club. Like, every now and then I like going. Personally, I just like flirting. I don't really like being in the club and like screaming in a girl's ear. That's me. But like I started realizing more things. Or like I know I can't go to the club more than really like once in a weekend unless I'm on vacation, because it's just like, bro, I'm trying to get my sleep because I'm trying to get up early during the week. Whole thing. You just start to realize certain things. Those are particular things for me. You start to realize things that you were doing when you weren't ghost. They just aren't you anymore or were never you. And then allows you, again, not to waste more time in your life. So that's another benefit of going ghost. What's the next one? Oh, this is a big one. Get more, and this one isn't for everybody, but I can make it relate for everybody. But for me, I got a lot more spiritually connected. I don't know who's watching this video, if you believe in God, if you're religious, whatever it may be. But this is different for everybody. I think this actually is more for everybody. Like for me, I really built my relationship with God to another level during this time. But more than just built my relationship with God, I was able to develop intuition. So even if you don't believe in God, I think we can all agree that we all have this sense of like intuition, this inner voice that knows something we don't. And you become more connected with it. And I think it's one of the most important things to ever develop is that connection with God or that intuitive feeling and being able to trust your gut. I became so much more in tune with that because I didn't have any noise. When you have all this noise, when you're watching a TikTok video every second, you're smoking weed, you're drinking all the time, you're always distracted, whatever it may be, you're not in tune with your soul, okay? And the more spiritually connected, more soulfully connected, the more you get connected with God or whatever you believe in, the more you get to kind of act on faith and not fear, and you end up just kind of walking into where you're supposed to go. And this ghost time really allows you to come in tune with who you are, to come in tune with your higher version of yourself. I'm not acting like I know exactly what's out there spiritually, but I do believe like there's something out there, okay? And it's respect to any religions or anybody watching this video. But I believe you just get more connected with God. Like I meditate and pray to God 3 times a day now. And it's just like I ask for guidance. And I'm like, what do you think? And a little bit of that is just reflecting on my life and seeing the things that I couldn't see surface level, because things are never surface level. And now I'm like, oh, I'm doing that for the wrong reasons. Oh, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should text that girl, or maybe, you know what? This part of the business isn't what I love. You know, it's just I get more spiritually connected. And I feel like I get guided by something higher. You feel me? That's what happened to me. Next one. The only thing that I needed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is another, and I'm gonna erase this. This is more for the thumbnail. Y'all know I'll be trying to get y'all to watch a full video and stuff. But the next one is you are forced to grow. Literally. You're literally forced to grow when you go ghost, because there's nothing else to do. When you cut off all the things that distract you and all that stuff, you have nothing else to do but grow. And it's like jumping in the pool and not having no type of floaties and there's no lifeguard. It's just like, bro, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? When you put yourself in that state, that forces you to grow. It literally forces you to say, either I'm going to die or I'm going to figure it out. And when you get into that sink or swim, you end up realizing you have more ability than you thought you had. And this time is so valuable. I think it's so important that people put themselves in sink or swim situations, because it forces them to grow. And the reality is it's never really sink or swim. It's swim or like, delayed swim, because like you can always get back to okay, but if you don't jump in the pool, you'll never grow and learn who you're meant to be. And so when I was in my ghost phase, I was forced to grow. I couldn't rely on anybody. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna act like I was ghost and I didn't have any help from anybody, but it forced me to just figure everything out for the most part. And anything I was going through, any challenge, I had nothing else to do. That everything that would distract me, I literally swore that I wasn't doing it for this phase. And so therefore, like, I had nothing else to do but to grind. I had nothing else to do but to write my book, because I cut everything off. Okay, and that's also another thing when you go ghost. Going ghost doesn't just mean like not like seeing nobody. You can still see people, but it's more like going ghost of like all the stupid stuff, and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna act like I didn't see any of my friends during this time. I'm not gonna act like I never went outside, but like I cut off all of my distractions. That's really what going ghost is. And so there's nothing wrong with still seeing your parents and stuff. Now, maybe some people may need to go completely ghost and just like you in the mirror, you feel me? But like for the most part, going ghost is about deleting all distractions. Okay, here's for the most important one that we've all been waiting for. Okay. Well, hold on. Oh shoot! I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. This was supposed to be the number one. This was supposed to be number 10. I skipped one. So yeah, that was number 1. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna cap with y'all, but we're just using the other one. When you just build forever habits. Okay. When you build these, oh my goodness, when you build these habits, it really takes you to the next level. Because if you watch any of my prior videos, I have a video about like the compound effect, which is the biggest principle in making long-term success happen. And then in the compound effect, you're gonna have to keep going for a long period of time, being consistent where it seems like things aren't happening. And you build these habits. And when you build these habits, it transforms you and allows you to be consistent. And when you're consistent, it's just a matter of time, things blow up, okay? And so I have 2 bonus ones I want to give y'all really quick. Let me see what I have. Yeah, bonus. Bonus really quick. And I appreciate you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate everybody who rocks with me. Bonus one. Less things you can't control. So one of the beautiful things about all these things you're gonna deal with when you're going ghost is the fact that, like, for the most part, it's in your grasp. Now, obviously, you can't hold the results, but when you're going ghost, you're deleting factors that are uncontrollable. People loving you, your TV show coming, whatever it may be. There's all these things that are controlling your emotions that you can't control. You're deleting all that and just focusing on waking up every day doing what I'm supposed to do. So it just allows you to have that guarantee of nothing you can't control for the most part. And then I think there's a big one. You begin to appreciate. And I think this is one of the biggest things it takes you to another level. I'm telling you, you've been to appreciate if there's one thing I could tell people to unhack them, un-F themselves of is instant gratification, like fall in love with that. And when you fall in love with delayed gratifications, you get way better rewards. And you start to love the process. Sorry, I got to like burp or something. But this is a super big one I got out of going ghost is that I started to appreciate delayed gratification. I started to appreciate posting videos on YouTube and not needing them to blow up anymore and just focusing on the process. And you learn to actually enjoy every moment, every second. And life becomes better. And then the results get better because you're actually putting in the time for a long period of time. And you get the results that people that want instant gratification want that can't get. So they just spend all day watching TikToks and doing things for short term, but in reality, never getting to a better life. This is what actually gets you to a better life because you're becoming appreciative, becoming humble, you're becoming present. That's what actually builds you the future. When you're always thinking about the future, always thinking about the quick way to get something, you never actually get it. You're just cutting yourself short. The shortcut only cuts you short in the meantime. But delayed gratification, putting that time, being consistent is what allows you to grasp things people didn't even think were possible in the first place. Okay, so I really appreciate you for watching this video. If you want more videos on finding your passion, figuring out who you are, and maybe making an income with what you love to do, or just becoming a better version of yourself, watch some of my other videos. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.